pause when I leave the chat. Hello and welcome to our first episode.
What's going on, guys?
We have issues, and I know you guys do too. My name's 2-Bit Jim. I got my cohort here, Zachariah.
What's going on, guys?
Right across the way. Literally right across the way. This is the premiere episode, and we're here to talk about some of our favorite 90s cartoons. It's a weird first topic for an episode to start with, but we're just about everything here.
Yeah.
And yeah, we hope you like what we got. This is our second try at this. First round wasn't so hot. Kind of had a mean echo in there, but you know what? It happens.
It was definitely bad. So the audio is everything's all good now. We're not having like that triple like wah 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 wah.
I don't know. Let's see here. Liz, how's our audio doing? We do have a delay. So
Right.
there's gonna be a delay from what we do and chat. So be aware of that.
I'm thinking eventually too on the like probably going forward we should have just one camera.
Yeah, we could do one. Yeah, we'll have one. We'll eventually have one camera showing everything that we got.
Yeah.
And I think it'll look a lot better when we do it that way.
Right.
But yeah, so we're here to talk about our favorite 90s cartoons. We grew up in the 90s. We're 90s kids. You know, we're 90s babies. Old man Zachary does have a couple years on me, but you know what? I'm not too far behind.
Zach, I gotta be old.
Old man Zach, I'm getting old.
Fucker.
I pulled my neck the other day trying to reach for some cereal above the fridge. You know, just happens.
Right.
But yeah. So look, it's been hard to actually just choose such a small number, like a small list of our favorite shows. I mean, hell, even I had to categorize Looney Tunes in its own category just because there's so many different Looney Tunes shows.
Yeah.
And honestly, they're all pretty good. Wonky, just funny, hilarious, over the top violence. It was great. You know, as a kid, that's what you want, right? You want violence.
Yeah, of course.
They say video games are bad, but did you see what we grew up with watching on the TV? Because you know that was the virtual babysitter.
Yeah, I do miss that, to be honest. Like
oh yeah. I would much rather be sat in front of in front of a TV.
Mm-hmm.
Just pay me all day, pay me my wages instead of working. I'd rather sit in front of the TV.
Right.
I will get babysat by that thing.
Oh, 100%. I mean, that's how, like, versus, like, modernized cartoons you see nowadays. Like, yeah, like, us, you know, being in the 90s, we definitely had more laughs. I mean, there was violence to the extent it was silly. But, like, nowadays, like, people kind of deem that as, like, inappropriate now or offensive.
Well, honestly, I mean, some, like, take Bugs Bunny, for example.
Right.
He's a demigod. How many times has he died? Or at least should have died. Came back, yeah, just fine. Same with Tom and Jerry.
Too many times, man.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's no consequences. I mean, Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner.
Right.
I mean,
I miss that. Like it's like I said, nowadays it's just like it's weird too because again we don't have the cartoons that we grew up with. You know, whether being like Looney Tunes or you know, like Tom and Jerry, like Cat Dog, like shit. I mean, Hey Arnold, Ren and Stimpy. It's just there's so much, you know. And
yep, exactly.
So it's cool. It's cool to like kind of think back to what we have versus what we got now. You know, and then speaking of which, like with the whole '90s cartoons, I guess like my first thing I like you know like to discuss with everything is like I think Hey Arnold, for example.
Oh yeah, Hey Arnold. Like, Hey Arnold was a classic. That was a good one. Grungy, very grungy. The style was, you know, a little bit darker, but you know that's that's what you get when you're based in urbanized cities.
Yeah, the old suburbs and everything.
Yeah, if I do believe so. They were they were based out like Seattle, Washington, Portland, and New York, like Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
and yeah, with that, I just think like I mean it tended to have the violence sometimes, like certain episodes and everything.
Well, I feel like Hey Arnold really was more of a friendship story than
Yep.
violence. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you had the bullying.
Yeah, like with Stoop Kid,
but
Wolfgang, um, Torvald. I almost forgot that dude's name, Torvald, and because he used to be a bully, and then like he kind of like turned heel and like completely was just different, and then he was friends with everybody from the fourth grade.
Well, I mean, there's some good like. I know this isn't well. Actually, I think. Well, I'm not sure when it premiered. I'm not sure if it was 2000s, but like that reminds me of like One Piece. One Piece, Luffy beats the crap out of people, and then they join his crew. He and like they were the bad, like either bad guys, or just jerks, right?
Right.
He's such a nice guy, beats him up. Hey, look, friends now, lifelong partners. I'll take a bullet for you.
Yeah, there was.
Hey, Liz, Trevor, how you guys doing today?
Is the audio good for you guys?
We do, um, we do have a delay set, so for higher quality. Bear with us. So when we do see your message, we will say something.
Yeah, it's definitely it's different. Hey guys, I'm not in my room anymore. The setup will be a lot different, but
Oh yeah, Zachariah here. He streams on a semi-newer, smaller platform called epals.gg. You can find him there, Zachariah. We'll put that in there if you ever do want to check him out.
They do here perfect.
But look, we're so happy to be here, and at least if it's just with our close friends, it doesn't matter. We're having a good time. But let's keep it moving. So,
Yep.
Hey Arnold was definitely a good one.
Yeah.
What was one show? In the night, we were kids, so we'd wake up in the morning, we do our morning rituals, and we were off to school. And I know damn well that your TV was on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, 100%.
I know you, Zach, and you had Nickelodeon on there.
My biggest,
what was the most memorable show? Like when you think of that show, it brings you right back to your childhood, waking up in the morning.
Well, it depends.
And waiting for that, like just you're getting ready for school. Right. You're sitting there, you're eating your bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
What's the show you're thinking about? What brings you back? What brings you back to that?
That's a good question. So I think, to be honest,
we keep bumping this dang flimsy table. We'll upgrade that too.
Yeah, it's new support for the legs. But no, so my biggest thing when I was a kid growing up, and I honestly I think back
Hannah Montana. Okay, yeah. I'm guilty. I used to watch Hannah Montana as well. It was a good show. It
was. I think like my biggest thing for me, like between like Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network, or like Nick Jr. for example, because we all grew up with Nick Jr. when we were kids, right?
Yeah, Nick Jr. was. I was more Cartoon Network. I'm not gonna lie, I was more Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
I'd occasionally hop on Nick Jr., but I honestly can't even remember what shows for what shows.
That's like I said, there's multiple shows I like, but I think my biggest impact would be like the Rugrats for me personally, and just because my mom used to watch that with me when I was a kid, right? And I've always wanted to be like how Tommy was, and I always wanted to be adventurous, but I was always scared. I always had that fear, like Chucky did, right, with certain things. Until
I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty adventurous. Tree forts. Breaking bones, falling out of trees, getting into mischief. I do actually miss that about the '90s. That was that's something that the current generation and even the generation before that is kind of like it's been waning. And
but I think it's like development, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. Just like the whole picturing the development of the certain characters. Like, yeah, Tommy would have his moments to where he was scared, but obviously he was more depicted as like that adventurous brave type.
Hey,
And
he was a
obviously,
Rugrat. He was
yeah,
honestly, he was
yeah,
a Rugrat.
and then the same thing with Chucky. Like he was so scared of everything, whether it be like a slide or like the dude on the oatmeal box,
Right, and
and then,
it was great that because the
yeah,
Rugrats really dramatized
yep,
the the fears of the unknown,
yep,
and going down a slide was unknown
yeah,
for a
yeah.
little
I
Rugrat.
think that's like
Obviously, you're a young child, and you've never gone down a slug.
right.
Excuse me.
As
So to to yeah, like almost everything new
mhm,
is a challenge.
yeah, and I think that's what I liked about that. And then reverting back to my other favorite would probably be and I don't know if any of you guys in the chat even heard about this show. I'm assuming you had. It was pretty popular. It would have been Little Bear. I don't know what it was about that show.
I
It
don't
was just,
remember Little Bear.
it was a really wholesome show on Nick Jr. back in the day, and like I enjoyed it personally, just because my mom would sit down and watch that shit with me in the morning, and I just think it was, again, it just ties into like how the Rugrats was, right? Like you have some character, right, that breaks out of his own shell to be more adventurous and be more brave, and going out and exploring things and doing things that you have that fear of the unknown, coming about you. And I think that's a big thing. It's just I like those kind of character developments. And
Trevor says he loves Little Bear. I honestly don't remember Little Bear.
it just something about Little Bear. It was just his character, right? Like his dad was always gone. And he was pretty much like,
I gotta do a quick search on Little Bear. Just if I once I see if I
yeah,
see the character,
yeah,
I'll probably recognize it.
yeah,
Yep. Okay, Little Bear. Yeah.
yeah. The cat,
Yep.
the duck, the
Okay.
owl. Don't forget. I think her name was Emily. Was
Yep.
the
Trevor
girl.
literally we got Trevor's.
Okay.
He's in here saying the cat, the duck, the owl. So yeah.
Yeah. It was just kind of cool, like it was just wholesome. People
Like a little rain
positive.
dance that they did and everything.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was just like it was cool. Like even like Franklin, for example. Like my brother loved Franklin. Um, I couldn't really get into Franklin a whole lot. I loved the show. Um, just thinking back to that. Um, it's like a
So
lot
what
of
was Franklin about?
Franklin was that turtle, if you recall correctly, on
Oh,
the
yep,
tablet.
Franklin. Yeah, he had the red baseball cap.
Yeah, yeah, and then
Okay.
yeah, and he had his friend Bear, which it's just like my tablet just turned off. Okay, there we go. So yeah, you got Franklin, you've got the bear, you got Beaver, you got Rabbit, you got Fox. It's kind of like how Little Bear is, right? Like it's just that tie bond, right? But my brother's more into Franklin, right? Because it is what it is.
Now, did you watch?
Um,
No, no. Did you watch a lot of that?
no, I can't say I've watched a lot of Franklin like my brother did. I was more attached to like the Little Bear series, just because, again, this is something that we all can relate to when
Well,
we're
I
younger,
mean,
right?
and as I said, you're a couple years older than me. Now, like my childhood shows, that I more remember were actually closer to like 98, 99, so the later 90s. But I
Right.
did, obviously the older ones were still airing. Um, even that started in the early 90s, they still aired throughout them.
Right.
Um, honestly, Rocket Power was mine. Ooh,
Oh,
like if I think of it every time I see the thumbnail for Rocket Power,
mhm.
I see it. I go right back to my living room, a bowl of Cocoa Puffs,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I'm just,
100%.
my little ADHD ass is that was the only time I could finally sit down and like sit still was if I was watching cartoons.
Right. Right.
So Rocket Power, like it was great because it was that skateboard scene. And
Yeah.
I actually,
It's,
I that's actually what got me into skateboarding itself.
right. And it's weird though too. Like you
I
see
did hit
these
the pavement for
modernized
about
things.
8 years,
Right.
and oh, it was a great time. I've
Like,
broken set like I think 6 bones from skateboarding. Oh, it was
mhm.
horrible, but you know how it is. Now I'm older, and yeah, I can't. Yeah, things going up on. Yeah, it's on the wall.
So like fast forwarding it though, dude, like the things from the '90s we got, like what we're discussing, like with Rocket Power, whether it be with Rugrats, um,
Thank you, Trevor.
whether
Thank
it
you.
be with Little Bear, with Nick Jr. and stuff, it doesn't feel the same as 30 years down the road.
Oh
right?
no,
Like you don't see
times change,
right, right.
society changes, and you have to adapt. I mean, even
That
looking
is
back to shows before then, Disney. Disney wasn't as always PC as they were. They were
Yeah.
actually one of the worst offenders, in my opinion, on cultural bias back in the day.
That is true.
So obviously, you're not going to get the same quality content because it's a generational thing.
Right.
So,
I don't know. Like I feel like
Sherry,
I literally feel
welcome to the show.
I do literally feel in the sense though, like what we got in the '90s and everything. It's not the
That was
same.
that.
Like, we had CDs and everything.
Look, that was the goal. I think that was the golden age.
Yeah, I feel like after
it was obviously it was pre Y2K, pre internet.
Hi, Cherry.
We didn't have to worry about half the shit we do now.
Right.
I mean, you wanted to go hang out with a friend, you threw a rock at his door or his window, you ran over there, knocked on, you tried to get their attention. You're not worried about a text or not. You just show up. I miss that. I actually honestly do miss that. But the thing is, when people do that to me, I really don't care.
No,
just the '90s in general. I mean, the toys were great, the shows were great.
Everything was at its peak.
Minus obviously some of the there was a lot of sexism in the '90s, but
right,
and that is unfortunate. But at least it wasn't so much in the cartoons, and that was great because it is nice to go back and rewatch these. But there has been some like, oh man, that did not age well. But that's comedy. That's comedy. I feel like as long as you're fair,
right?
Hell, have fun. It's jokes, right? And that's what the '90s were about too. Like it was amazing. And for example, I mean, we even had a show called Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Oh,
it was more
Zorak and all them.
That yep.
Yeah.
Now that was more along the lines of say if you were older, you actually were conscious and fully conscious in the whole '90s, pretty much. You're a teenager. You could understand, at least understand most of what you're watching. Me, I was actually a little kid, and I'm just watching Space Ghost. You got this superhero on a talk show. He's got these different villains and different creatures on there, and honestly, it was great. That's one that I want to rewatch so I can actually understand what they were talking about.
No, exactly. But Cherry said no cell phones for my mom to track me. And that was the thing too back in the '90s. Like you didn't have to worry so much, right? The only thing you really needed to worry about was like getting your ass home before the street light came on. And
that was the curfew.
I hated that shit.
That was the curfew.
Hey, I know, I did. I swear to God, there's times where like when my brother,
when you see that street light on, your ass better be in here or it's grass.
Yeah, dude, and I remember that too. And like me and my brother would always just like try to rush home, like being quick. We're like, fuck, we need to go, dude. We need to get home now. And like, man, because it was different, right? We didn't have all this crazy shit we've got now, so. I was thinking about that. Like, Jared did make a good point on that.
Well, you know what? It taught me structure.
Yeah, that's fair. It did.
Now it's like, well, kids don't even want to leave their house. I mean,
no.
And I mean, I can't blame them. I grew up with video games and cartoons, so
right.
When I was out, I mean, I was just like pushed out of the nest. It's like, hey, look, you can't be in here. Go do something. So that's what I did. But when I was home, oh man, it was. Let's just say my PlayStation 2. I don't think it was ever turned off for at least 3.5 years. I'm not even gonna lie. That thing, the PlayStation 1, I cooked a few of those. Yeah. So it's like I understand why you don't want to go outside. People suck sometimes. It is what it is. But like these cartoons, even today, any animated series, you get to go outside of the box and enjoy what reality can't give you, right? Obviously, 100%. Like I can go smash this guy with a big old hammer. And he's gonna compress like an accordion, bounce back up, and then he's gonna come at me with like a time bomb or something. Who knows, Might even put up a wall that he painted.
Yeah, I could see that.
He Picasso'd something, walked right into it. That's funny. That was hilarious. But that's like that was like one of the like more slapstick, and I do enjoy that. But like, there was even a good amount of dark comedy and shows that when I go back to, I realize, man, this was really dark and disturbing.
I don't mean to interrupt. I don't mean to interrupt. So you know how we were talking about Hey Arnold, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Craig Bartlett made the show.
Craig Bartlett.
Yeah. Craig Bartlett. Yes, okay. He's the one that made the show. Did not realize that he voiced Brainy.
Is this mine?
Yeah. Yep. I did not know that the dude
Pinky in the Brain.
No, Brainy, like the guy on Hey Arnold. The dude is like, oh, he does that weird thing. Where he's like,
yeah.
I did not know that. That blew my mind away from that.
My wife would kill me if
if you breathe like that.
If I was breathing like that, I mean, when I'm stuffed up,
yep,
I can't be near it because like it's I'm annoying myself.
That's weird though. I never knew
that guy needs like a neti pot or something. The in your nostrils, clean that out.
Okay. So speaking of Hey Arnold though, dude, like if you had a favorite character to pick on there, right? What would be your most character that you could relate with? And even with you, chat, like if there was a character on Hangout,
I got it. I already know. I don't know. I don't remember his name.
Okay. Just think.
He was.
If you want to look it up, I can.
He was the jerk off who was more of an ass to everybody. He had baseball cap.
Talking about Harold?
Harold. No, was it Harold?
Wasn't it?
Hold on. This is.
Well, I'll let James look that up.
Go comes in handy.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna mention the other one. I hate that one.
No, it's definitely
a quick DuckDuckGo search here. Let's see here. Hey Arnold cast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, Trev, 100%.
Who? Wait, did you say Harold?
Yeah, Harold's the one with the baseball cap. Arnold's the main character.
Harold Berman.
Yep.
No, not Harold Berman. It was the other one, the shorter one.
Talking about Sid or Arnold?
I think it was Sid.
Sid's got the long nose.
Yes. It was Sid.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Because I'm more of a visual learner. Yeah, Sid.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like who I most at least connected with, because like growing up, I was more of a greaser type, the black sheep, but
it's hard for me because like I love Arnold, right? Like we all love Arnold. Like his.
I mean, my schnoz is not that big.
I know.
He's got a glorious honker.
Yeah, he does, but it's just hard for me. Like I guess if I could pick a character, that I feel like I could relate to, it was either between like Sid or Arnold. Just trying to be like positive, like, and that's why I kind of relate more to Arnold's standpoint because Arnold's so nice to everybody, right?
Maybe nice to a fault.
Yeah, like he's just super kind. He wants to help everybody. Like he's just his living situation. Obviously, he's got a boarding house he lives in with like freaking 15 other people.
Yeah, that sucks. So you're gonna be an asshole.
Yeah, and I'd be the fact that like his, and let's not forget his room, Arnold's room. We wish we all had that, right? Like we wish we had a fucking remote that popped out of bed or popped
all the
out
toys, all everything that a kid would ever dream of.
Yeah, and it was incredible. That's the thing we wanted. We're gonna we were younger, even till today.
Maybe one of these episodes we're gonna have to do like the perfect '90s home.
Yeah,
like high tech '90s homes.
Right.
Apparently you were Eugene.
Well, do you think I was Eugene? Eugene was a klutz, though. I don't know.
Honestly, you know what? Look. You're my roommate.
Well, I mean, be honest.
Let's be honest here. Let me.
Yeah, if you want to look up Eugene's backstory and everything, like.
All I need to do is see him. I'm a visual person, so.
Right, but Eugene's more.
Nope. You are Eugene. I'm gonna agree. I know I'm gonna agree with Trevor.
I don't know, like my characteristics and everything about how I am. It's a little bit more like
Eugene.
Yeah, I'm
goofy. Yes. You're outgoing, and you kind of are a klutz. I mean,
Yeah, no.
That is what it is. And that's what he was. It's not like saying, "Oh, hey, you're the kid like no one likes or picked on or nothing." No,
Right.
you're well. You got some Eugene in you, buddy.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not gonna lie, you got some Eugene in you.
Yeah,
But look,
I'll take a look at him.
So, I mean, I gotta mention. Yeah, I gotta go back to that, like those dark times, right? Because we would watch some weird stuff,
right.
and by weird I'm talking like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so Courage the Cowardly Dog. Take
Super
the slab.
creepy.
Take the slab episode for example.
Yeah, Yellow King Ramses. That fucking was creepy. That guy was a creepy character.
What
nightmares when I was a kid.
What was the thing to do was change the animation style on a protagonist or a certain scene to infer a certain emotion, right? So what they did with this guy is made him kind of like 2.5, 3D, really dark, and they just played this scratchy tune over and over again. It was already creepy. And he's like, "Return the slab."
Yeah.
Return the slab. And
my
like
curse.
He's throwing out locusts, and just biblical stuff.
Yes, but you have to admit though, like,
and even as a kid, I mean, that kind of scared the shit out of me. Not gonna lie. There was,
like, he used to scare me with his fucking eyeballs.
The Dr. Katz episode was creepy. Yeah. They had this swamp one. Obviously,
trying to think now.
Okay, so
don't forget
Courage has to save Eustace and
Muriel.
Yep. Like I think it was just Muriel. I think she got kidnapped. I can't remember.
Well, she did get kidnapped a lot more than like Eustace did, but he still
honestly, I think it was every other episode or every episode that she got kidnapped.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know, like, with Eustace's like development and everything, like overall as a character, like a lot of people did give him shit just because of the torment and shit he put Courage through. But at the same time, like, he was neglected in his past because if you recall, his mom just treated him like he was nothing, and his mom didn't give a shit about him. Like, you remember that on that episode, with Courage on the rooftop with Eustace, and Eustace had seen himself when he was a kid. If you can recall that episode, you might have to go back and watch that. But there was an episode though where Eustace was on the rooftop with Courage, and he had that rain cloud curse over his head, and I thought that was a sweet episode. I really did.
I don't remember that, but I mean, Trevor and Cherry also agree that it was kind of creepy.
Yeah, it was a scary show. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like the fucking the little, I can't even think of her name. The dog, like that one that's like, I see,
the
like,
creepy Chihuahua one.
Yeah, they like her fucking eyeball. Yeah. Her eyeball is like K-Ro's eye.
So
I don't remember her name.
Let me do a quick search here. So we're talking Courage the Cowardly Dog, and
I can't remember her name though. It does not ring a bell. But she was creepy as shit, like beyond creepy. And it's just like, it was always funny that all these random people would always come in their house. In the middle of nowhere, mind you, right? Nowhere, nothing's around. It's like, how the fuck do these people just randomly go in, And then, like, that's even to say...
Shirley, apparently. Yeah, it was Shirley, and she was a fortune teller. Creepy character.
Oh, 100%.
Honestly, like, really, really creepy.
Yeah, I couldn't even explain to you how disturbed I was when I'd first seen her character. I was like...
The way they did her eyes...
Yeah. That's what was Eustace's eyes. We always popped him out of his head. He's like, ooga booga booga.
Yeah, and I mean, just that style that they used, it really hit it home though.
They did.
And Courage still holds up to this day. That's one of those shows
he does.
That was a good, a down to earth show. Like,
the show did not get as much recognition as it should have till today. Because I know they had recently released a movie with Courage.
Well, look, all of us in our age frame know Courage.
Right.
I feel like if you're in your late 20s, early 30s, you know Courage. You definitely know Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Right, but
it's almost like a household name.
Well, you think of Teen Titans, though, right? Like, I know that was a later show, but like they remade that.
I loved Teen Titans. The animated Teen Titans that was early 2000s.
Yeah.
That was a good series. If you haven't actually seen that, and your intro to Teen Titans was the god awful Go series that they did, over sexualized, horrible animation style.
Horrible.
Yeah, do yourself some good and actually check out the original. Well, I can't say it's the original, but the early 2000s Teen Titans. That one was actually a good show.
Well, it just sucks. It's like all these 90s shows, right? And like they're remaking shows nowadays. Like the Powerpuff Girls. I don't know how many times they're going to redo that, right? Like we all
I didn't even realize that they redid the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Until our first take of this.
Yeah, and that's the thing now. Like even with Courage, right? Like they're trying to bring back all these 90s iconic shows. Like SpongeBob was made in the late 90s, right?
Well, SpongeBob's still going.
Right. But you got to think of the time though, like with fucking what we're just talking about, Courage, right? They were kind of made the whole time frame almost the same year. Might have been a little earlier in Courage. I don't know.
I think SpongeBob started in 99. Oh, they started in 99. Yep. Courage started in 99.
Yeah, so, but that's the thing though, like, and I don't understand that, and that's like an issue. Like, you know, like why take something that was, good, right? And then like,
well, that's
make it bad. But with Courage, they did make that one movie, but it's like, I get Muriel's voice actress. I still think
the most egregious one was the Teen Titans, and that's not 90s. Teen Titans was early 2000s. No. But they're getting a special plug because it was such a good show.
Oh no, that's definitely fine. Like 100%.
And the fact that it was redone so poorly, in my opinion, it really hurts me actually, because I had the whole DVD box set of that show. That was one thing that me and my mom actually would do. She really introduced me to the show. She enjoyed it, and that was something that we did together. Right. One of the very few things we did get to do together was actually watch Teen Titans. So. It was a good show that I hold near and dear to my heart.
Right.
And the fact that they just ruined it, in my opinion, they ruined it.
Oh, 100%. I wasn't a big fan of it. Like even it's like Rocco's.
But maybe that's me being older and wiser now, and now I'm able to put myself in the shoes of like my parents back in the '90s watching some of these cartoons. I'm thinking, what the hell are you watching? Why is this even available for you?
Right. And I think that's a big thing too. Like you're talking about the remakes, like Rocco's Modern Life. Like
Rocco was very inappropriate.
It was.
That was not age appropriate for the network.
It definitely wasn't.
Or the time, or at least the time skit, like the time that they allowed it to air. It was not that. Nope.
I mean, it's just because we were talking about like with the whole Teen Titans and like the Courage remake and stuff. But like with Rocco, they made that reboot on I believe it was on Netflix. And they completely had changed the show from what we grew up on and what we watched, and it was just.
Hey, give me that beer you got down there.
This is my one beer. I have to go get more. Yeah, you want me to get more? I have to grab another damn beer, bud. Killing me.
No, look.
Happy New Year's, guys. By the way.
Fancy. Well, early New Year's.
Yeah. Happy early New Year's, guys. For
here, look. I'm gonna be fancy. I'm gonna put it in my alcohol glass, but I'm not. I don't feel like getting up. So,
cheers, you guys.
This is an early New Year's. Cheers for everybody. Now, I did also want to mention another kind of darker show. I mean, it was not dark as in, oh, it's creepy. You have to look into the subliminal messages, and that's one show that I actually really did enjoy, and that was Ed and Ed. Honestly, it was a good show. Zach, did you want to?
Yeah, I was just waiting for you. I want to.
Oh no.
Yes, Trev, they actually did remake Rocco. They made it into like a movie. Sorry, I wanted to let James talk. I didn't want to talk over him.
Thank you, partner.
Yeah, so they did remake a Rocco's movie. I think it's still on Netflix. Just check it out on Google. Yeah, it was different. It was still cool that they tried to keep the animation as they did for the whole '90s series when it did release.
Yes, it is on Netflix.
Okay, yeah, so it's on Netflix.
Yeah, you can actually watch that.
Yeah, and that was the thing is like because they were potentially trying to get like a green light to remake the series, but it didn't do good because there's no promotion for it, right? Like there's not enough advertisement. and that kind of is what led just the movie to be a movie. Definitely check it out if you guys haven't. It's definitely not the same to me. They changed a lot of it to please the newer generations. I'm not sure if you remember Kevin, which was Mr. and Mr. Big Toad's son, the one that made the little TV show that Rocco and Heifer and Filbert watched. Um, they had completely made him different in the movie, and if I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but if you guys want to watch that or tune into that, strongly recommend it. Great movie. They didn't really give off that horrifying, like grotesque stuff that we had grown up on during its original series, but I mean, if it's something you guys want to watch, go for it. Anyhow, back to what you were talking about, James. You just be looking away at stuff right now, brother. Trying to think, like, what was the other good one? Like Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network.
Let's just let's go to Cartoon Network for
okay. Well, that's what I was talking about. Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Right.
Ed, Ed and Eddie was a really good show. I relate to it a bit because I didn't have like all the parental advisory that what you would say a more stable family would have. So I didn't care for my parents. You know, they were divorced, and so it was.
Oh, you're good, Stacey.
I was me and my devices, right? Ed, Ed and Eddie. You never seen an adult in the show. The closest thing to an adult, and I think maybe was Ed's older brother Spike.
Ed's older brother? Eddie's older brother?
Yeah, I mean Eddie's older brother Spike.
What's his name, Spike?
I want to say his name was Spike.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's Eddie's older brother. It was just Eddie's older brother. I don't know if he actually legit had a name or not.
I think
I could be wrong, but not that I can recall.
Oh no. Yep. It was not Spike. I don't know where I got that from. According to the fandom, the Ed and Eddie fandom, he went by Big Bro, Mr. Eddie's brother.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he had a name.
Rolf would call him Elder One.
Yeah, because he was older. Yeah.
Kevin called him Bro Guy.
Okay.
And Naz, you called him Mr. Macho Man.
Okay.
But the thing about him was like he would just beat on Eddie anyways.
Yeah, I mean, that show was definitely something that we all grew up on.
I mean, the poor kid, like
I felt bad.
He idolized him, but then he get bullied by his older brother anyway.
Yeah, it's like
that's kind of how it goes.
All that stuff that Eddie would always talk about with his brother, like during the whole series, was like he's always the best. He's this, that, he's other. And I literally think, again, that's why people watch that show, because it's kind of cheeky and sarcastic, but really comical.
Right. I mean, the Jawbreakers.
Yes, the job. Okay,
so talk about those Jawbreakers.
Yes, I don't understand how a Jawbreaker, right? How the hell does a Jawbreaker that big fit in your mouth? There's no way, right? Like, I get it's a cartoon.
They channeled their inner hamster powers.
I don't understand that.
I think that's what it is. Maybe the parents were part hamster, so they really were too small to be on screen.
But they look like big
or squirrels. Because look, they had the power to stuff so much stuff into their cheeks. It was crazy. Those Jawbreakers, they had to roll down the road. They had 5 Jawbreakers for them was a wheelbarrow's worth.
Right.
It was crazy.
It made no sense to me though. Like, and you guys can even answer this. Like, how the fuck? They look like 2 big balls in their mouth, right? Because they usually had just one Jawbreaker, like that Christmas episode.
The Christmas episode. They were even messing with Jawbreakers then.
Well, like those
how extra hard that the Jawbreaker is gonna be when it's snowing out. Are you shitting me?
I just don't get it. It's like, but it's like literally like 2 big balls. It's like, how the fuck?
Oh, I remember Double D. They finally won one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I think there was a scene where I seen he had both. He had 2 in his cheeks.
That's the thing. Yeah, they always drooled. Like, you notice they always had that little drool coming out of the fucking side of their mouth. And it's like, holy shit, man!
First off, you're gonna be a garden hose. Spit.
Yeah, I'm just like
with that much Jawbreaker.
And the fact like that one episode, Eddie like went to that Jawbreaker bank, and there's just like so many different Jawbreakers, like from every single country. And I just thought it was silly because like,
oh no,
you dropped my webcam. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Welcome to the podcast.
We definitely gotta get a tripod for that. In a second.
We'll be fixing this.
Is that gonna be better for the down there? You think?
I don't know. Let me
Technical difficulties, guys.
technical difficulties.
I don't know. I'm gonna set it back up there.
Let's get you. Yeah, there you go. Let's get you back to normal, buddy.
I knew it wasn't gonna work. I had that feeling eventually. I'm like, that motherfucker's gonna fly off there.
Oh yeah. We just.
Yo, what's going on, Trevor? Where else? Right? I'm just gonna call you Trevor. There's 2 Trevors now.
Oh, Trevor Riles. Hello, welcome.
But anyhow, because we're getting off topic. So I think with like the whole
No. Well. Okay, yeah. So we're on Ed and Eddie, them damn Jawbreaker. Okay, but look, favorite character Ed and Eddie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my favorite character on Ed and Eddie? I don't know. My favorite character, like, to be honest, that's a really good one.
I already have mine lined up, and I will tell you.
Well, you go for it because
he's the best. He's best character in the whole show. Plank.
Plank?
Plank is my favorite fucking character.
Plank?
I swear to God, he is great. Like, it has no lines whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Little Jimmy just moves him wherever he wants. Johnny
2x4.
Yep, Johnny just moves him wherever.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, it's Plank's your spirit animal.
Plank is my spirit animal. I channel my inner Plank at all times. I mean, that's why my memory's so bad.
You're just like,
Plank brain. I got Plank brain. But look, I even had a replica of Plank sitting in at my old job.
Yep.
I was a screen printer and sort of an industrial painter, you know.
Right.
Well, we had this slab of wood. It was kind of like a 2x4 or whatever, and it was during the sad times of some weird sickness going on here.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
So I don't know. I just drew Plank's face on it, put a little face mask on him, and we set him up on the wall. And yeah, actually, he's still here to this day.
He probably is.
Yeah, Plank's living it up in there. Yeah, my best friend Plank. I don't know why. I just love it, especially when Johnny was pushing him on the swing. Yeah. Right? He's like, dude, fuck you. Came out of the swing and just donked him.
Yeah, it's insane.
Because Plank doesn't take anything. He doesn't take no shit.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
And I guess this is my favorite character on the show. I think would have to be Ed, to be honest, just because I'm goofy, right? I'm just spontaneous.
You're talking about Gravy Ed, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like in terms honestly, of personality wise.
I can see that.
Yeah. I feel like that in terms of like my character relation.
I am standing in the way of you filling our tub with gravy. I'm not gonna let you do that.
I won't do that.
That's not gonna happen.
Like just minus the unhygienic part, but yeah, I mean in terms of like personality with like humor.
Ed was a good guy. Ed was a great guy.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he's got my props.
He was a dope.
Yeah.
Almost kind of like Homer Simpson in a sense.
Yeah.
But
nothing wrong with that.
I mean, he was a good guy. I think he'd give you that crusty shirt off his back.
Yeah, he would too.
If you needed it.
Yeah.
As long as you speaking,
but it was cool though too. Like when he was smart as shit. Remember, he was like smarter than what Double D was. Remember that one episode? I can't recall the exact name of that episode, but I can't remember it. Dude,
I think it was like a placebo effect kind of thing going on.
It's a bitch bastard effect right now because I can't even think. I don't even know how it started, but like there was an episode where Ed was like super smart, right? I just can't think of the name of it for some reason. I don't understand.
I think it was an issue with Double D himself. I think he had like a cognitive sort of relapse and was forgetting things. I can't find the episode, but I do know that there was one where he kind of went haywire, right?
Yep.
And it was all those sticky notes, and he lost his shit. Maybe it was that episode. Not sure.
Rolf was pretty great. Yeah, I mean, Rolf had a lot. I mean, and that's the thing with Rolf too. Like a lot of people,
His chickens, don't fuck with his chickens.
yeah, don't fuck with Victor the goat.
And Victor the goat, Victor, I forgot about Victor the goat.
Yeah,
he's in my contender for top characters.
I always loved Victor the goat. Like, there's just so much things about like the '90s, but you go on forever with this shit.
Well, you remember the Kanker sisters?
Yeah, those fucking girls, dude. Yeah, and I can see people like nowadays, like even going like scrolling through Facebook or whatever, like Instagram.
You ever see the renditions of
cosplay mode?
Yeah, you ever see the rendition of them as adults? Like they're coupled up. They're coupled up. They're all fucking burnt out. You got Ed smoking a cigarette. Oh, all messed up.
Yeah.
Like, well, their parents went around.
They were very creepy though back then when.
That was just like, I think just one of the darker. It was a dark show once you kind of look back and think about it as an adult.
Right.
And I mean, that's what's great because that's like you're almost looking through some sort of portal.
A bird's eye.
I'm gonna keep it with the portal reference because as a kid when you watched it you had a different mindset, so what you're seeing and what you are taking in is actually different than when we go back now and rewatch it.
Right.
We're paying more attention to some of the more subliminal sad messages that are in some of these, like how lonely them kids were actually.
And then speaking of that, depressing. Like, what was your saddest episode, do you think? Ed and Eddie. If you had one episode, even this can apply to anybody, right? What would be your saddest episode and like why?
Well, it was one of the latest. I think it was one of the last episodes. And I don't remember it. I mean, I don't know. I can't really put it in details just because I haven't watched them in ages.
So scrolling through these episodes
but it was one of the last episodes. It was just a really it hit you hard in the feels, and it was one of the comeback episodes because they stopped the series for a while and they wanted to bring it back.
Yeah, the thing is, I think like my saddest episode, to be honest, it's got to be between like remember when the boys got old, like Eddie, and there was a lot of conspiracy theories of that, but I think like we'll go back to it in a second. But I think like my saddest episode of Ed and Eddie was when Eddie admitted to everybody, and that was the last episode, right? Like he admitted to everybody that he just lied basically, and he felt bad. He just wanted to feel accepted, right? And then a lot of us can relate to that, right? We were
you want to fit
kids.
In.
You want to fit in with everybody. Yeah, you're gonna do what you want to do to make friends, to make the laughs, to make the memories. I feel like that's an important factor to put into consideration is just feeling isolated and you don't want that feeling. You don't want to feel that. And the fact that like Eddie admitted to all of his wrongs and like cried basically. He just wanted to feel accepted. I think really that's what hit me in my heart the most is when like all the kids like grabbed up Eddie, right?
Yep.
And then you see that fucking metal door like clang to his brother and fucking knocked him out, and the Kanker sisters grabbed his brother instead. I just felt like that whole closure was nice to see Eddie that went through all this heartache, right? All this issues.
Yeah, honestly, Eddie was the one hurt the most.
Yeah. But reverting back to what I was saying with them getting old, that was sad too because I thought at first when I thought the episode was real, I was like, are they gonna end this soon? Like, what's going on?
No, that was it.
And there was a lot of conspiracy theories about how that was actually should have been the last episode. Was they were just old, you know, and there's so much on there, and you guys could even look it up yourselves, right?
Yeah, that was they kept they were in the garage.
Yeah, they were trying to get that table unlocked with a song. Remember, and Ed
honestly, that was it. That was that's the one right there. Yeah, they were trying to get through them chains and that fucking
because Nash locked it up.
Right, Nash is just like chains, and they just turned old. And it was really weird. It was really weird. Yeah, he had that epiphany where he's like, "Oh, we're actually old." And he was just reliving his life in a nursing home.
Yeah, that was and that episode literally.
Now if the show had ended on that would have. Oh man, I got goosebumps.
Right. So reverting back, what was your favorite episode and why though?
All right, my favorite episode was the Naz pool party.
Last pool party? Oh
Last
yeah,
pool
when they were
party.
trying, when they're all trying to like go to her pool party. And they all
Yeah,
sneak out.
Ed and Eddie, they were trying
Yeah.
to get in, and
They had a little
obviously
Speedos
because
on.
they
They did
they
too.
were being all weird, and Double D, no, it was Eddie.
Okay.
Eddie's like, look, I have the stash. We're gonna be the coolest ones there.
Yeah,
Like,
they had those little leopard skins.
and it's this dramatic opening. He grabs the box, he opens it up, and it's these tiny little triangles. Fucking Speedos.
I was gonna say,
Just Ed can't fit in his.
yeah,
He's spilling out of his. It's so freaking tiny. And
yeah, I remember it. I missed that, dude. That was
look, so they hop the fence and they lose the Speedos.
Yeah, I remember they're all naked.
One slides into Kevin's hot dog.
Yeah.
One flies into Naz's drink if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it was. No, was it John? Was it or Jimmy's?
I can't remember.
I remember it slid into the drink.
It might not. I think it might have been into Johnny's. I'm not sure.
It's been so fucking long, and that's the thing. Like, we have to go back and we need to revisit this. Right?
So they lose the Speedos. They hop in the kiddie pool, and they're hanging. They're.
Oh yeah, actually, no.
Naz was actually hanging out with them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, she's hanging out. Oh, we're naked in here." But yeah, like they had to stay in the whole pool the whole day. Like they just sponged it up, and they were stuck. The way they got home was great. Flintstoned it the whole way home.
That was
my favorite. That was my favorite episode.
They were actually freezing.
Oh yeah, nighttime came. They're like, oh, you guys ready to go?
That was definitely nuts, man. And but speaking of which, with like Double D and like the whole Ed being smart thing, right? So let's just take more '90s examples. Kind of like what we were discussing the other day. Who do you think is actually like would be smarter? You think Dexter, Double D, or let's throw in Jimmy Neutron?
Okay, no, that's fair because those are all.
That's
Jimmy Neutron was 2001.
Right. Oh, yeah, it was. It was. But I can't really count.
And I believe Dexter's Laboratory was even 2000.
Let me take a look. I actually am going to verify that. I don't remember. I don't know why I gotta fix my tablet here. But I don't remember the exact year. I think Dexter was late '90s, wasn't it? Yeah, Dexter's Lab should have been. It was late '90s. Yeah, '96 actually.
Yes. So by Hanna-Barbera.
Yep. And then let me see.
That was still also a great studio.
Yeah, no, 100%. Hanna-Barbera by far. No, so we can't really use Jimmy Neutron because you're right.
No, you know,
2002. But
all right, well, he was 2001. I'll give an exception to Jimmy Neutron because he was smart too. So, you want to throw Double D, Jimmy Neutron, and Dexter into a ring, right? With a battle of wits. Honestly,
Dexter and Double D. Okay, that's a good question.
I will have to. I'm actually going to have to agree with Trevor. And here's why. Dexter, yes, Dexter's my choice, by the way. He had it was called Dexter's Laboratory, right? Jimmy Neutron was a genius as well. He was a genius, and it is and he's got an IQ of 210.
But my thing, Jimmy
now
Neutron,
Double D, I haven't got any statistics from the fandom on Double D.
Yes,
but Double D never had any crazy inventions like the other ones. He was smart.
But he built that huge ass elevator, remember?
Well, he did.
Yeah, then Ed went up there like
now Double D's probably would be, if he continued what he was doing, he's smarter than both of us for sure. I'll give him that.
Yeah, see, Trev's got a good point there, dude.
But Dexter, I feel like, is the smartest. The technology that he had, his laboratory, and the fact that he was able to hide it from his parents the whole time. He's got a giant acid laboratory underneath.
Yeah, I know. Like, even the fucking
his inventions were clean. They were clean and they looked machine.
Right.
Jimmy Neutron, however, very smart. Yes, he went to space with his own inventions.
Yes, he did. And he has
more of a kind of haphazardly put together inventions that did work. He was a genius as well. But I still feel like Dexter's probably got a handful more IQ points than Jimmy Neutron. I think that's where my stance is. And don't get me wrong,
it's hard. It's
Double
hard.
D
But
is
Dexter
smart.
has made
He's
some
smart,
inventions that didn't work,
but
though.
he's got nothing on Dexter and Jimmy.
Right, but Dexter had some inventions that didn't work all the time, though.
Exactly.
And that same thing was
that's what being a scientist is all about.
Right. You're gonna
experimentation,
mistakes.
implementation, experimentation.
I guess that's where we have issues at, Chad.
Right.
It's hard. It's definitely.
So all right. Well, look, I'm team Dexter on this one. You can be team Jimmy. That's fine. I mean, that's where we'll draw. I'll draw the line in the sand.
I know we need to make pros and cons with it and just kind of see. It just sucks. I mean, I wish they could have like a standoff in terms of the conventions that they've made throughout their series, right?
But the other issue with Jimmy Neutron is
I know
that damn early that damn early 2000s 3D rendering that they put into it.
I know.
As a kid, you're like, yeah, this is great. But when you experience like a modern graphics card that actually pushes smooth, like smooth graphics and I can at least not see the triangles. It was really hard to watch to go back and try to rewatch Jimmy Neutron.
No, it definitely was.
I really prefer the hand drawn shows.
Yeah, and that's something we talked about the other day. Like this hand drawn like things is like even most beautiful creation. And this ain't even related to like the 90s, but Cuphead, right? Fucking all hand drawn, no digital stuff.
Wait, well, it was inspired. It was inspired before the animation style, even before our time.
And it was amazing. They did such an incredible job, and like nowadays,
I can't play. I cannot play Cuphead to save my life. So, I mean, but it's a game that I enjoy watching. So that's
100%. And I think that's the thing we've always enjoyed too was just like the hand drawn aspect of everything, right? Like let's just be for real. Maybe people don't mind digital stuff, but like I feel like it's more emotional, like it's more giving to like want to hand draw something, right? But everybody's different. I mean, and that's where we always have our issues with like people being subjective to certain opinions, which I get that. I understand that.
Oh yeah, no. I mean,
I just prefer the hand drawn theory. Like I love that.
That's right. That's what I was getting at was that it was just hard for to watch that kind of 3D rendering that they did back then, just because it was too early. I mean, that was just like the beginning of what they were doing. They were trying a new animation style, and as I said, I obviously enjoyed it growing up.
Right.
Like great. I mean, at one point I thought San Andreas was lifelike. I mean,
we did. We always did.
Go back now. Go back now and load up San Andreas.
That's even like I said, Super
polygons Mario 64. Everywhere.
Super Mario 64 for the Nintendo 64 real fun, dude. We all thought like, damn, dude, this can't get any better than this. And like nowadays, you see like everything just beyond realistic. Right?
Oh yeah, it's lifelike. Lifelike.
Yeah, and it's mind blowing.
But
think about that, like us looking back to the 90s. I just think we're more grateful for the fact that we got what we got.
Oh yeah, no, I'm actually really grateful. I got to grow up in the time that I did.
Yeah, like graphics don't make everything.
Even like we got to grow up with marbles, like real physical marbles.
So that too. Yeah, back in school,
that was crazy. And yeah, like we lost our shit when Nintendo 64 came out.
Yeah, we did. Like I remember playing that.
But most memorable was when the PlayStation 1 came out for me. For me, it was the PlayStation 1. When I seen the PlayStation 1, I lost my fucking shit.
No, I don't even blame you on that.
I had convinced my grandma to go buy me one.
Yep.
And she did. It was great. I loaded up. I had one of them demo discs. I had a demo disc.
Okay.
And I remember one of the games I played on there was oh hell. See, I don't remember, I guess.
Fudge.
Oh fudge. I guess I don't really remember. No, it was I don't know if it was Crash Bandicoot or not.
That was like 2000s, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. No, I can't remember what game it was.
Well, even like
it was some sort of racing game, I believe. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, but you know, it was such a good time.
Oh, and 100%. I won't ever sit there and say we did not have an era when we went through our whole kid and teenage years of enjoying a lot of things nowadays that.
Oh, now wait, now wait till we do something where we're talking about the early 2000s.
Oh, that goes even further beyond that.
That goes even further. I mean, it was.
This is to go even further beyond.
There was some dark times, but
right.
You know, as a kid, it was great.
Oh yeah.
As an adult, it sucked.
I couldn't even imagine.
But you know what? We were kids in the early 2000s, and you know that's when we were a little bit older. You know, just getting into the double digits, 10, 11.
Yep.
You know, however. And
having fun with everything.
Yeah, I mean, we had so much fun. I can't wait to break that down. But I mean, yeah, like seriously, the 90s media that we had growing up as kids, I think it was just a gem. And I'm glad that we have the streaming services that we do now to be able to rewatch them. Granted, they I hate them for obvious reasons, but you know what? At least they're doing us a service, and we're getting to relive some of that legacy media that a lot of you today that might not even be able to experience that.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing at least we can appreciate about now.
Right. Well, besides our rant, yeah, when you guys got a chance, man, like, and then this goes to all you and even us, like, just take time today to just kind of revisit a show, you know, whether it be playing a game, enjoying a toy, you know, just go revisit that. And just being grateful for what we had, like James had mentioned, is something that I will never, ever, ever take for granted on that. Like, we grew up in a time where just things were interesting, you know. It was intriguing to us. It's just attached to us, something we hold, and we hold that near and dear. So, you know, that being said, just enjoy what you got. Take time today. If not, maybe next week, whenever you guys have time to just kind of relive your childhood, you know, like just going back and just, and I do miss that. I mean, this, like I said, this whole conversation could go on for like hours and hours and hours.
Oh yeah, we can talk for ages about this.
Yeah.
But I think that's gonna be about it for us. Yeah, no, we're glad to see everybody who came through and came to support us.
And also,
I had a great time. I think
yeah.
You know, we're definitely gonna be doing more of these.
And I promise the camera angle will be different, so we're not having like a sideways looking at me. Like, we'll fix it up.
Yeah. It will improve. It will.
Also, shout out to you guys, and a big shout out to DaLew.
Yes, big shout out to DaLew.
You guys will be able to hear his music. Sweet, sweet, sweet artist, dude. You make some slap music. Appreciate it. You guys are amazing tonight. And we'll be doing this podcast about once a week. We'll figure out different topics. If you guys have any ideas or suggestions, feel free to shoot it to 2-Bit Jim or to shoot it to me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. If you have any ideas for the show, please.
Yeah, that would be sweet. And then, like I said, James had made mention about having guests here, not obviously anytime right now, but in the future, if you guys want to be a part of the podcast, just to shoot the shit and relax and just something different, feel free to reach out to him or me. Appreciate you guys. I need to go get some more fucking beer.
Yep.
Oh, I love you guys.
We're gonna play you out with some of DaLew's music.
Yeah, get me the fuck out of here. Who the hell are you? Who the hell is this guy? Man.
made this. Els made it.
Thanks, Ruby.
I got big dreams, don't believe me. 2.26, gotta keep my head up. I gotta show everyone, but no one will believe me. They're blind to see it, I see my demons, but no one will believe me, They all think I'm crazy. Don't tell me to let go. Every time I let go, I'ma let my guard down. Every time I feel love, got a broken heart now. It's my ex's fault for the trauma. I really, really thought she's my lover. And every time I hate to think of her, but I'm blind to say that she's not my joke.